Hey guys, back again guys with Versus Match with a Twist. How everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's well. It's Monday. First time to give us the winner of last week's best samurai character, and the winner is Zoro, excuse me. Rona Zoro won. It was neck and neck between Jack and him, but then Zoro took the lead. But I'm disappointed in you guys. Only 3 votes for Kenshin. You guys are dead to me now. I blocked every last one of you. No, I'm just messing with you guys. No, it's like one guy said, Kenshin is truly the ultimate samurai. He is the honorable mention, and everybody recognizes that. So, but big ups to Zoro for that. So this time around, guys, as you can see, this one comes from me, and basically is which classic cartoon needs a remake or reboot in a sense. How they did He-Man and Thundercats and people like that. So I kind of figured it'll be cool to go with that. So let's kick it off with the first choice. And the first choice is none other than Space Ghost. Yes. Space Ghost first came out in the 60s, but I've always said that we need a really authentic Space Ghost cartoon that could really showcase what the character is and who he is, and kind of follow the format that miniseries that DC put out in 2006, which was really good. I always keep saying I recommend that. So yeah, Space Ghost is number 1. Number 2 is Mytor. Actually, I think a up-to-date or remake of Mytor could work. I feel that it could give a little glimpse of like, okay, because Mytor is actually Thor, actually, pretty much. But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool because I did dig Mytor, actually. Next up is, yeah, Birdman, as you can see. I've always said we need a real, decent, better Birdman show that we got when our parents were growing up with the show. I mean, I couldn't stand his monologuing to himself, and I think they really need to tell a good origin piece and a new twist on the story, the character, in terms of like where he's from, who he is, and things like that, how he got his powers and everything. I've always said that, you know, they could go like he was a government project or something like that, which I'll do a video about sometime later. But yeah, Birdman is another character. Next up is the Herculoids. This is the last cartoon I've taken from the 60s that I think could use a good remake. The Herculoids was one of my dad's favorite. And that was one of the shows that he loved, and I always felt that this is another show that could use another remake, and kind of telling where the Herculoids came from. How did Xandor and his family get them, and things like that. And that's another thing I've always wondered, you know, because when you look at it, the classic Hanna-Barbera action hero cartoons, there's really no subplot and content to where these characters came from, in a sense. No origin, best with. Next up is a character from the 80s, and that is none other than Thundar. Now we're getting into my generation, my era, the golden age of cartoons. I always say they need a remake of Thundar, because let's face it, that first series was good, well it was, but it needs a remake to explain a lot of crap, a lot of stuff. I don't mean crap, but a lot of things that happen. Basically, I'm sorry that the opening tells the whole origin don't make no goddamn sense to me. I need to know where Thundar came from, how he got the Sun Sword, what kingdom is Princess Ariel royalty of, you know, things like that. That's just funny to me. Next up is Brave Star, another character that I watched when I was a kid. Brave Star is one of those classic Native American characters in this Space Age New Texas. That's what I remember. And he had these different, he can call upon the spirits of the animals, which was cool. He was a sheriff of this town. He had this anamorphic horse sidekick called 3030, and I think they could really do another remake of it, kind of, you know, just to give a little wink wink to us fans of that. Next up is none other than Gulzar. Gulzar was another, and you know, his Golden Lance. This is another show that I watched. I love this show, and it brought me back when somebody put it up on my Facebook page. I think it was a Pop Culture Diva that put it up, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen this in so long. But I think a remake of this could be good too. Very much. I would love to see Gulzar come back. Next up is the Centurions Power Extreme. I really think, you know, a remake of the Centurions would be good. Give it a little bit more bass to it than what it had in the 80s, or just give it a little bit more up-to-date feel to it. You know, that's just me, and I would really enjoy seeing that very much. The Centurions. Next up is the Bionic Six, the family of Bionic heroes, youngsters, and the family of Bionic. I always thought the Bionic Six was good. They kind of were like, you know, the $6 Million Man, the Bionic Woman, but they were family, and it was just so much fun to watch this show back in the days, and I think a up-to-date version of this would work too, as a remake or reboot. But yeah, Bionic Six, guys. Next up, and number 10, Battle of the Planets, or Gatchaman, however you want to classify it. Love the series, classic heroes, I love them. But I think it's time for an up-to-date version of it. I hear they're supposed to be making a live-action movie, but I want a new animated series of it. More importantly, I love Gatchaman, I love Battle of the Planets, you know. Or here in the States they call it GForce, but I always called it by its original title. But yeah, definitely Gatchaman, or Battle of the Planets, however you want to classify it. And we move on to number 11. Yeah, I'm going for the max, guys. 12. Dinosaurs. I love the Dinosaurs. The Dinosaurs reminded me of kind of like a mixture of the Transformers in a way. They were dinosaurs from another planet, and they were battling the pterosaurs, the pteranodons. Dang, I'm forgetting it. But they were the dinosaurs were the good guys. The pterosaurs were the bad guys, I believe. So it kind of was like the Autobots and the Decepticons, and Earth was caught in the midst of their battle. And I would love to see them kind of give a little bit more of a more adult theme to it if they could. But yeah, it'd be kind of cool for me. That's just me. That's something I would like. And last but not least, number 12 is Cops. Yeah, I'm a child of the 80s, guys. I'm not even. I don't hide it. Cops was a show that reminded me of Cops meets G.I. Joe. That's pretty much how you got to look at it. This series was fun to me, in my opinion. I love the opening, and of course the famous, you know, line was, "It's crime fighting time," you know, and stuff like that. But give it a little bit more up-to-date feel to it. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, it was great. So guys, there you go. I went to the max for versus match with a twist with this one. So in your opinion, guys, there are so many cartoons I could have chose from, but I just chose these. We've seen remakes or up-to-date versions of classic cartoons like He-Man that came out in 2002, which was great. Thundercats, which didn't last too long, but it had its stride for me. They tried Voltron, which failed. But in your opinion, vote on which of these cartoons you would needs a remake or up-to-date version for this new generation, to educate these kids on what good cartoons were and what they can be in a sense. So as always, guys, voting begins now, and it ends next Monday, which I will give a Christmas Eve edition of Versus Match with a Twist. And other than that, guys, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. As always, guys, I'll catch you guys on a flip flop. And once again, thanks for listening and watching Versus Match with a Twist. And you guys take care.